yeah!
Hi guys, welcome back to my quote show unquote. Just a little housekeeping? House cleaning. Just a little bit of house cleaning before we get started, okay? We have a new procedure for negative comments on the channel. If you have a negative comment, please
wipe your ass with them.
Okay guys, if you don't remember, months ago or whatever, who knows, who cares? Who gives a crap about whatever. We looked at all these school board videos, combing through this crap, a lot of people droning on, a lot of school boards, they love taking group pictures. Now, they'll be like, now presenting Jennifer and Greg and all these people, they did something and they'll take a picture together. That's fine. But what we like to make fun of is the sort of kooks, the political kooks that we make fun of. They're really poisoning the minds of the vulnerable in society, as we call them. People who are convinced that it's
the beginning of the rise of the Antichrist.
Ben Shapiro, whatever. Who's the other guy? Tim Pool, all these morons. They've got a lot of people convinced that really stupid things are very important. In the past couple months, things like don't say gay bills in Florida and all that has kind of seeped into the whatever this crap is. So let's take a look.
I happen to be in the book business from age 12.
Whoa!
My mother was
That's against child labor laws, okay.
When I worked in the industry and I would bring the books to the librarian, they would comb those books. I am telling you, comb them.
Comb those bad
At the
boys.
middle school level, if they opened a mythology book and there was a naked statue, they would say, oh my gosh. And they would notice things that I didn't, and I'm very meticulous.
A naked statue?
They would look at that book, they'd see that naked thing, they would tell me, I can't put this on a shelf at a junior high.
No way.
Because they're going to sit at the lunchroom and they're going to start talking about this, and the other kids are over here. That's how it flows.
I mean, that's exactly right. That is how it flows.
That's how it flows. That's how it flows.
That's how it flows in these lunchrooms, okay, with these kids. Look, I'm just going to say it, what we're all thinking. These kids are preverts, okay? These kids are perverts, bro. These kids are what we call porno-craved perverts, or PCPs. And these PCPs, they're looking at pornographic images like Venus de Milo, the Michelangelo's David. They're looking at Greek statues. They're looking at Italian statues. And I hate to say this, okay? This is really hard to say, okay? Because
that's how it flows.
This is really hard to say, but they're jerking off to these images, bro. They're jerking off to these statues, bro. I just want to show you guys one of the statue images we found on one of these PCPs. Is that a Bella Delphine video? Is that an OnlyFans, or what is that? Either way, these kids are doing this to that. I mean, these are the most erotic images they can get their hands on in our era. But anyway, I watched hours and hours of these school board videos that have happened over the past couple months. And yeah, that's kind of the theme. I wonder where this has come from. But a lot of these parents have in their heads that their schools are filled with porno. Where could that have possibly...
What they are doing is political grooming. If we can indoctrinate your kids in a particular belief system regarding morality and immorality...
Who are saying overtly that they wish to convert your children to a particular way of thinking about sexual mores and about gender identity.
It is not for the good of your child. It is because they wish to hijack your child and to separate you from your child and to teach your child their values. You are the enemy.
This book, as of yesterday, is still found in the Clay High Library. I can give you the barcode if you would like.
The barcode...
That's how it flows.
All are part of this book. It violates that. It's child pornography.
Whoa!
What a pervert. What a pervert. What a pervert. The news and the left promotes pedophilia.
So they give all these social media lunatics a hard time. All these right-wing kooks on there. Oh, the schools are turning your kids gay. They've been doing this for months and months.
But I'm a concerned parent.
I'm a concerned parent. Okay. And all I want is for my child, ever heard of one, to not be indoctrinated, okay?
Dr. Aspa and school board members. My name is Ainsley Bacondi, and I'm going to speak on mental health in our public schools.
Hell yeah.
Mental health is very important to children and teenagers because they have lots on their plates and they are learning new skills every day.
Right. Many would say,
That's how it flows.
Some people say they need counselors or therapists, but in my opinion, I think God is the only one who can help you. Yes, a counselor or therapist may help you learn coping skills, but God is the only one who can heal you completely inside and out. There is never going to be real healing unless God is involved. Another reason there is mental health crisis is that some counselors in the public school are pressuring kids like me that I might be gay or trans and encourage me to rebel against parents and church. For example, at the last board meeting, there was a counselor sitting next to me and my mom. She started arguing with me if we had inappropriate books in our library. If a counselor is that way in front of my mom, what would she be like when my parents aren't present? You see, the Bible clearly shows what happens when we forget about God. It is detailed in Romans chapter 1, verses 18 through 32.
That's
in
my
verse 20,
favorite,
we
too.
start worshiping things rather than God.
Right.
In verse 27, there's the rise of the LGBTQ movement.
In verse 27, there's the rise of the LGBTQ movement.
And then in verse 28, people develop
wait a second. Hold on. Hold on. Whoa. In verse 27? Where is that?
That's in the Bible. That's in the Bible.
Right.
In verse 27, there's the rise of the LGBTQ movement. And then in verse 28, people develop a depraved mind, not being able to think correctly.
Oh, boy. Wow. Get 'em goose-stepping young. Jesus Christ. It's sort of weird to watch this when you see stuff like this. You have that thought. I've had this thought, many times in my life where it's just like, you're like, wow, just anyone can have a kid, huh? I'm responsible for this life. Hi, I would just like to be clear these are 100% my thoughts and not my mom's, who was unfairly banned from the school board meetings because God forbid she likes to have a few drinks now and then. Anyway, in Timothy chapter 1, Jesus is clear that gay immigrants are invading our country. So just anyone can have a kid, huh? That's sort of like...
That's how it flows.
Oh, look at this meme.
That's how it flows.
Carol Lerner, POPs and SOS. I'm speaking on agenda item 2.
What are all those numbers? What are all those letters? Okay.
Mental Health Awareness Month.
Okay.
I applaud the district for honoring Mental Health Awareness Month.
Okay, so this is fantastic because this is Sarasota, and Sarasota is like ground zero for doing this. That's from what I gather from watching these school board videos from Sarasota. But they're having a hearing on mental health awareness. Or as I call it, awareness. I would say be careful. If you hear somebody doing this, be careful because...
That's how it flows.
But they're doing this thing, it's like they're having a hearing on mental health awareness, okay? I don't know, whatever. But there's this thing called social and emotional learning. And this lady's a teacher, and she's here to talk about it. I looked into what is social and emotional learning, and it's basically, it basically means nothing because it's what you're supposed to teach young kids when they're like in grade school, which is like, hey, you don't hit people. You don't hit people, and you express yourself. And if you need something, here's how to ask for it. It's basically what all school is, really. It's learning to be not what little kids are, which is basically wild animals, But the people that we make fun of on this channel basically have so poisoned the minds of these vulnerable adults that they think that means CRT. They think that means... I don't know. And it's rot. Absolute chaos. Absolute chaos on these meetings and on these parents' brains.
But there are some people in this room who have lashed out at social emotional learning in the classroom.
Oh.
How could it be that people are against programs that help children to develop healthy identities?
Because they watch YouTube.
Emotions,
because they have
feel
YouTube.
Empathy for others, maintain supportive relationships with friends and family members.
Yeah, YouTube.
And make responsible decisions.
It's because YouTube. Many would say...
That's how it flows.
Again, some people here in the room believe in the nutty ideas of Christopher Rufus, the gadfly of think tanks run by and for billionaires. Rufus was a popularizer of the campaign to turn critical race theory into something like social emotional learning, which he labels as CRT. Rufus says he can label anything he wants CRT and turn it toxic.
So this lady's like a veteran teacher. She's like one of these old teachers who's like,
I love these children. I show love to these children, and hopefully they'll show love to other people.
That's how it flows.
But what you kind of can't hear, of what you'll see in a second, is that while she's saying this very simple thing, like, hey, we should teach kids how to treat one another, not like rats, People are shouting at her from the background, and here's what happens.
Good mental health. Let's all support SEL as we work towards good mental health for all.
Thank you. That concludes the agenda items. I'm sorry, those cards, because they were not clear, are moved to the general comments. I'm sorry, order. It's been decided. We're going to take a 5-minute recess in order to get the order back.
Oh, no.
5-minute recess. Thank you.
All right, guys. So you might be watching this and you're like, oh, man, you're getting black-pilled. You're like, oh, my God, look at these people. They're a bunch of cretins and pukes. But to that, I would say, no. Because what I'm about to show you is going to give you some hope. We got some kids who are doing on-the-ground activism, okay? They're standing up for what they believe. And this next clip is a perfect example of that.
Hello, my name is Alessandra Monti, and I have just completed 6th grade at ITMS in Winter Springs. I mostly enjoyed my first year, and I take pride in my school. However, I am one of the smallest kids in the school, which makes the hallway situation very tough. Me and many other smaller kids get pushed around by 8th graders that run around in the halls without any respect for the 6th graders around them.
That's how it flows.
I have gotten pushed into walls and shoved by inconsiderate 8th graders when I am just trying to get to my classes.
Wet willies, swirlies, stop hitting yourself. These are just a few of the tactics that 8th graders are using against us kids. I hereby declare to the board that we need to spread awareness to these 8th graders that trash is for trash, not for kids my size going headfirst into it. When did school stop being about learning and start being about atomic wedgies and noogies? This kid rules. I love the idea of like, I'm going to take this bully situation political. You might be able to put a kick me sign on my back, but I'm going to kick my civic engagement into full gear. You get it. You get what I'm going for. This is the cutest goddamn kid I've ever seen in my whole life. I honestly hope that the board gives her like personal bodyguards. That's what if I was a board, I'd be like, yeah, I move to do a motion to give her 2 personal ripped, we're talking like ex-Navy SEALs type crap or whatever. They just follow her around to every class. These Navy SEALs just punting 8th graders, just dunking 8th graders' heads in the toilet who even look at her. Motion approved. All right, but in all seriousness, we've been just seeing the political football being kicked around on this, don't say gay stuff and all this stuff that, saggy sort of dead-eyed losers like Ron DeSantis are, kicking around because they don't want to get real jobs. But we never see the real effect to this crap. And this actually is a pretty, I would say, this is a real heart-wrenching little testimonial from somebody, a teacher, who actually has to deal with this crap. Here we go.
All right, hello, my name is Jen Devine. I was a theater teacher for a very large portion of what today has been dubbed the loud minority. And I taught them for 15 years, and during those 15 years, I watched my LGBTQ+ students light up when they got to my room with such joy because they were just able to just be. And then I watched the weight on their shoulders as they left my room because they didn't know if they would be accepted by their peers, by their parents, by other teachers in this particular county, which is just so Devastating. And when I left teaching last year, my students surprised me with this goodbye video, and I cried a lot. And in it, they were all saying, you know, goodbye, Ms. Devine, we love you. But then every single one talked about how they were so scared that they were going to lose their safe space. But they need the protection because when they go home, when a kid goes home and they're bullied, their parents usually like, oh my gosh, let me call the school. Or I'll support you here, you know, brush it off, sticks and stones, and you can rise above it, you know. But when a kid that's gay goes home, or that's transgender or non-binary goes home, sometimes their parents say, well, stop being a sissy, you know. Or, you know what, this is just a little phase. Or they kick the kid out, or they beat them. And that's not what happens in other bullying situations, and that is why they need your support. But today, instead, you were silent. And that said so much more than a proclamation ever could. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, wow, big up to this lady here. She's probably, well, she's definitely the only connection to sanity for a lot of these kids living in whatever small town in Florida. She's seeing this thing that's obvious, that these adults, quote unquote, you know, these adults and their little media ecosystem, they can't. Like they're not capable of doing it, you know, life.
Hello, my name is Sada Ward, the rising editor-in-chief of the Greyhound at Lyman High School. First, I wanted to thank you for your help in overturning the censorship of our yearbook. Even at the very last second before the books were handed out at distribution day, we are tremendously grateful. With that being said, from what we heard at the May 10th school board meeting, we can all agree that the current media student policy leaves room for confusion and subjectivity, and that clarity in her case may have prevented the issue as a whole. As I prepare for my leadership role in next year's book, I face major anxiety as I attempt to wrap my brain around what we can and cannot cover in our book. Considering the case of the walkout, we were objective, we did our job as journalists, and I'm still struggling to figure out how covering an event of LGBTQ plus students speaking up was remotely a violation of PO 5722.
So, yeah, so in our ongoing discovery that many parents in Florida should be the ones being taken care of, that kids of Florida should rise up to take care of their parents, these wacky laws, these wacky like culture war distraction laws that these idiots are wasting everybody's time putting in place, to distract from actually real economic issues and so on. Yeah, you probably heard that right. Because of these laws that they're putting in place, they had to censor the yearbook because the yearbook covered an LGBTQ walkout. So they did like a walkout of school because they're like, hey, you're passing all these bigot laws. We're going to do a walkout. The yearbook covered it as like we're doing our journalism covering a thing that happened. And then the school board was like, we can't show that because we might get in trouble because of these laws. What? Kids of Florida, this is a message to you. Rise up. Overtake the state. Overtake the state government. I nominate the little bullied girl with glasses to become governor.
Me and many other smaller kids get pushed around by 8th graders.
This is from a local paper. The smell of fresh paper filled the room, blah, blah, blah. They're printing a yearbook. Their excitement quickly turned to confusion after Principal Michael Hunter released it. His name's Mike Hunter? I don't know about that name because...
That's how it flows.
Released a statement on Monday, May 9th, saying the distribution of yearbooks was delayed due to a spread that covered the HB 155-7 Parental Rights in Education walkout, that's the like don't say gay stuff, walkout, as it did not meet Seminole County School Board policies. On the spread, the staff pictured students rallying together holding pride flags and signs in opposition to the new bill. The new bill bans teachers in kindergarten through 3rd grade from teaching or discussing topics related to LGBT, blah, blah. This is a great lesson in free speech for these kids, you know, in their formative years. You can't print that. Yeah, well, a thing happened and we took pictures of it. You can't print that. You can't print that.
That's taboo. The state will come down on us.
Good lesson. Good lesson from the free speech morons.
That's how it flows.
You can't have free speech because...
That's how it flows.
And the next thing you know, people will...
Wipe your ass with them.
Hi, good evening. My name is
Hi.
My address is on file, and I am a high school librarian. I know, we're kind of seen as the bad guy. So I just wanted to give you guys just a moment of hearing straight from one of us who are boots on the ground to let you know, like, a little bit about us and kind of give a face.
Oh, man. I mean, this is truly like Ben Shapiro and all these people should be thrown they should just in general be thrown face first into prison for the rest of their lives. But for this one, they really should be, because this poor library teacher, this librarian who makes nothing, you know, she's paid, 30 cashews an hour or whatever. She's like, hey, y'all, just wanted to say that, those YouTube videos that you're watching, let's calm down a little bit, because I'm not a demon. But she's pretty what I would consider adorable, because she's like, I'm the daughter of a Baptist minister. She puts all her crazy credentials. I'm the daughter of a Baptist minister. But y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop coming at me. I mean, I think the goal of all the people who spread all this, the schools, they're trying to kill your kids with porno or whatever. They're trying to turn your kids, every one of them, gay. I think the point of it is to just destroy public institutions, to cause chaos and all this stuff, so that, it can be a private thing where the money is all funneled up to some 19 years past dead mummy, But so far the effect that it seems to be having is just totally just making people who already have a very important and difficult and low-paying job just way more stressful and stupid. Also, again, important to point out that these people are not media perverts. They have what we call real jobs. Real jobs, okay?
For removing books and that sort of thing, I want you to understand that we are not bad people. We are trustworthy. We, like Mr. Daly said, we can't possibly read every book. We can't possibly comb through every page.
Oh, you can't.
That's how it flows. That's how it flows.
I love this lady. I know y'all like Facebook. You like to be on there all day. But we need to have one foot in reality. Can we do that? No? Okay, didn't think so. So there we go, guys. Just a little check-in with many people who are doing this. And this.
That's how it flows.
But many people who are doing this. So God bless that little glasses kid. I hope that they stop shoving her in the trash and dunking her head in the toilet and tying her shoelaces together. Cut it out, you bullies. If those bullies keep giving you a hard time,
wipe your ass with them.
That's how it flows.
So there we go, guys. The beautiful things going on in America. Yeah. Everybody on track, making little incremental progress to make life better for everyone and not, everybody. None of that. Hope you're having a good week. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, one of the worst days. Many call it hump day, and I call those people perverts, and
that's how it flows.
So have a good week. Cut the crap, enough. I've had it with all of you. Give me a break. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. Hey guys, you're only getting a fraction of the weekly shows. If you want a new motherfucking episode every day, subscribe on Patreon for as little as 2 bones. You get the patron-only Tuesday and Thursday shows, the Bookablega show where we look at important books, and the goddamn weekly behind-the-scenes show. And for only 25 bones, you could become a producer and get your name up here. Look at these people. These people make this show possible. If it wasn't for them, nothing. We don't have a show. We got nothing, and it's garbage. And we have to just leave. We have to just basically walk away, and we don't even really know where we're walking. That's the truly troubling part about all this. But please, become a patron today. For as little as 2 bones, or 5 bones is another level, or 10, or you go the full 25 and you get up here. Big special thanks to these people. Love you guys. Love you guys so much.